Now then, right, I'm just about to start putting the engine back together on my KX125, so I thought I'd make just a short video on how to use the crankcase installer, or the crank installer. It's basically comes in two parts. You have the main body here and then the threaded bar. Now this threaded bar, this screws on to your crank via some couple of adapters and this nut. So this piece here, this will be screwed onto your crank, and then you slide the body over, and this piece here, this will sit onto the other side of your case, and then we basically, all that does is we screw that nut on, and that'll pull your crank up into the case. It becomes be a bit more easy to understand when we get it on the bike. I don't explain it very well, but it'll be easier to see when I get it on the engine, and you know what I'm talking about then. So I'll just change this, see if we can get a better angle for you. Right, so as you can see, I've got my crank sort of just sitting in that bearing there. It's only loose and it's just sort of balanced in there while I get set up. Now in the pack, what I got with this crank installer tool, you get some flat bar. This is just to make sure that the installer sits nice and flat and parallel to when you're pulling in the bearing. You don't want it coming in at an angle, or your crank's going to go into the bearing at an angle, which you don't want. So we just get our adapters. So I'm going to sit the crank, push the crank up as far as I can in there, sit that over, tighten up all our adapters, and then we'll screw the threaded bar on if I can. And then you'll see what I mean by the flat bar when I get that on there. So now I know that this tool here, your base plate, is sitting nice and parallel to the case. And now before I did this, I just put a little bit of two-stroke oil on the actual crank itself and on the inner race of the bearing. And I'm just going to nip that up hand tight for now. Double check that everything's lined up. And it's nice and going in nice and square. And once you're happy, I'm going to start winding it in. You should hopefully see on the video the crank coming up into the case. Things like this, I just like to take my time a little bit, just keep checking it now and again. But they're really tight fitting, as you can tell by the sound. They're extremely tight in their bearings. Okay, so I've wound that all the way until it's flush seated into the bearing, and it won't go anymore. It's gone up tight, so that's where we want it. So it's just a case of slackening this off now. Yep, so I'm really happy with that. It's gone in fine. It's spinning really freely, so that's spot on. It like I said before, it's seated all the way into the bearing, which is what we want. And now it's a case of putting the gearbox in, the rest of the internals, and then I can use some Therabond, a 3-bond, sorry. This stuff, this is what I use on the gas as the gasket, and then we'll get the other case on using the exact same method, using this tool. Right, so I've got my liquid gasket on now. I've pre-oiled all my little bearings, all the gearbox bearings, put a little bit of oil on this shaft and these shafts. Now it's just a case of slotting this over, pushing it down, and then we'll get the installer tool lined up. Alright, that's down as far as it'll go now, so it's a case of using the tool to get the rest of it down. So you put your adapters back on, and I don't really need to use the bars but on this one because this will sit flush to where the oil seal is, but I prefer using the flat bar anyway. Then I know for certain that it's going on flat and coming up parallel and true. So I'll just get this lot screwed up. Then all it's a case of is exactly the same as we did the first half, is just tighten this, tighten our nut down, and then it's going to push this case, instead of, I'm just going to push this case down and push it together. So that's tight. Now we can start winding down. All we just need to make sure of is just keep double checking everything really. What you'll find is that it'll come down this end, and this end usually starts kicking up a little bit, so you might have to pinch it in or give it a little knock, especially on your shafts. Just give them a knock, a little tap, just to get them seated properly. So we'll start winding on, see how it goes. You can see already it's, you know, couldn't really come down this end. Give that quick little tap, and this going down straight again, so crack on. And that's nice and tight in there now. So that's seated all the way to the bearing. Just in case slackening that off, pull your bars out. Right, so that's all the bolts nipped up now. I've wiped off all the excess gasket. Everything's running smoothly. You know, just give it everything once over, just a quick check, make sure nothing's binding or out. Well, that's all spot on, but like I say, it was just a quick video just to show you this crankshaft puller installer tool. This one's a Tusk one, but I got this in, it was in a deal with the separator tool as well. I think this one's from America, but I paid about, everything in with delivery and all that, it was about 120 quid. But these, I know Motion Pro do one of these, I think you pay about 80 quid for one. I'll put the link on it on the video, but it's worth its weight in gold. I mean, I've done this a fair few times now, and it's saved me money, obviously sending it into the garage or whatever and getting paying somebody else to do it for you. So I can't fault it really. Spot on tool. Hopefully this video's helped someone out there who's going to have a go themselves. Like I say, just take your time with everything. There's no rush. Yeah. But any questions for me? Any bits of info or whatever you need to know, or you want to ask me something, just fire away in the comments below. But yeah, thanks for watching, much appreciated. Cheers.